Morning. Provost Colbert, distinguished faculty and other members of the university community, honored guests, doctoral candidates, welcome to the Georgetown University Graduate School of Arts and Sciences Doctoral Hooding Ceremony for the 2024-2025 academic year. Please stand, remain standing, for the invocation, which will be offered by the Reverend Gregory Shendon of the Society of Jesus, Director of Campus Ministry.
In a spirit of much gratitude, let us pray. Good and loving God, we come to you today enlivened with your spirit of gratitude for making us collaborators in your ongoing work of formation. You called each of us in a spirit of belonging to this community at Georgetown these years, blessing us with the inimitable legacy that began with St. Ignatius of Loyola and has been passed from generation to generation. The gifts of our mission, founded on the practice of reflection and discernment, have empowered us to make decisions which have called us to stand in solidarity with all who share our earthly journey and moves us to live lives of active service rooted in justice and love. These gifts now also dare us to move beyond what is known and secure, broadening our imagination, deepening our trust in you, and emboldening us to strive for the common good of all. As parents and guardians, we thank you today for our treasured children, loved from the first moment we knew their existence. Though once helpless and dependent upon us, they have become the people we celebrate and admire today through a transformation that never ceases to amaze us. As partners, spouses, and friends, we thank you for the gifts of love, loyalty, and kindness they have shared with us, and for the models of service and dedication they have been to us. As faculty, staff, and administrators here at Georgetown, we are grateful to you for the opportunity to participate in the formation of these students, to honor them for their hard work and achievement, and to thank them for the inspiration they provide to keep us going in our own vocations. The goods that are our lives are the gifts we offer to you. We come together this day. Lord, please hear our simple prayer that when we are weak, be our strength. When we doubt, be our faith. When anxious, be our peace. And when we're discouraged, be our hope. When we're lost, come and find us. When we're in darkness, be our light. And when we're sad, be our comfort and joy. Let us feel your touch in all that we say and do. Let us grow and blossom in your love. Grant us this, Lord, and there's nothing more we want until we see you face to face. Take all that we have and all that we are. Give us just your love and your grace. And with these, we're full. Yes, we're full. Amen.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sawika Colbert, Interim University Provost.
Good morning and welcome. It is my great pleasure to join you today for one of the most meaningful and enduring traditions in academic life, the Doctoral Hooding Ceremony of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. To the families, friends, and loved ones gathered here, thank you. Thank you for the support, the encouragement you have offered our graduates through the long and often unpredictable road of doctoral study. Your presence here today speaks volumes and is deeply appreciated. This ceremony holds profound significance not only for those we honor today, but also for the faculty who have mentored them, and for our university as a whole. Today, we recognize a pinnacle of academic achievement, the awarding of the PhD. The doctorate is more than a degree. It represents years of sustained inquiry, intellectual courage, and disciplined curiosity. It reflects a commitment to deepen the boundaries of human understanding and to pursue knowledge not simply for its own sake, but in the Jesuit tradition for the greater good. At Georgetown, we believe that scholarship must be both rigorous and purposeful. Our doctoral students have met the highest academic standards while also engaging the world, its challenges, its injustices, and its possibilities, with compassion, creativity, and integrity. Each of the scholars before us has made a distinctive contribution to their field. Each has overcome the setbacks and uncertainties that come with original research. And each has demonstrated the resilience and imagination that are the hallmarks of advanced scholarship. To earn a PhD is to embrace complexity, to ask questions no one has yet answered, and to persist through moments when progress feels elusive. It is to join a centuries-long conversation across disciplines, across cultures, and across generations. Today's hooding ceremony draws on traditions that go back hundreds of years. The academic hood, with its colors and design, identifies a scholar's field and institution. But the act of hooding, of a mentor placing the hood over the shoulders of a student, is deeply symbolic. It marks the transition from student to colleague. It signifies that the one who once sought guidance is now prepared to guide others. And it reminds us that scholarship is not a solitary pursuit, but a shared endeavor built on collaboration, trust, and the transmission of knowledge from one generation to the next. To our graduates, we honor your accomplishments. We celebrate your perseverance, your insight, and your voice. You leave here not just as experts in your field, but as stewards of knowledge and as ambassadors of the values that define Georgetown. On behalf of the entire academic community, congratulations. We are proud of you, we are inspired by you, and we look forward to the impact you will make in the world. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey, and once again, welcome to this very special ceremony.
It is a tradition at our hooding ceremonies to have a distinguished member of our community address our doctorands. This year's speaker is Dr. Kathy McGuire-Zeiss, professor and chair of the Department of Neuroscience at the School of Medicine and director of the Interdisciplinary Program in Neuroscience, IPN, and the Masters in Integrative Neuroscience. Professor McGuire-Zeiss is an expert in the brain's response to aberrant proteins and is renowned for her research on alpha-synuclein, an important protein related to the pathology of Parkinson's disease. Her work elucidating the response of brain immune cells and neurons to changes in their microenvironment uncovered novel pathways involved in age-related neurodegenerative diseases for not only Parkinson's, but also HIV-associated neurocognitive disorders. Over the course of her 17-year career as a researcher, she has received numerous grants from the National Institute of Health and private foundations, which resulted in publications in well-regarded journals and presentations at national and international conferences. In addition to her many scholarly achievements, Professor McGuire-Zeiss is widely regarded by colleagues and students as an exemplary scholar-teacher and a generous mentor, and she is admired across the university for her values-driven leadership. As director of the IPN, she oversees the PhD in neuroscience and has advised numerous graduate students and colleagues. In 2023, in fact, Georgetown Women in Medicine awarded her the Karen Gale Distinguished Achievement Award, given to a faculty member who has demonstrated significant achievement on national and global levels in their work, and who has also acted as a leader to female faculty at the Georgetown University Medical Center. Professor McGuire-Zeiss also serves as co-director of 2 NIH training grants for PhD students, the Neural Injury and Plasticity Training Program, and the Initiative for Maximizing Student Development Programs. Dr. McGuire-Zeiss.
Thanks, Alex, for those kind words. I promise not to go too far off script. So hopefully everyone can hear me. First of all, congratulations to all of you who are receiving your doctoral hoods today. This ceremony really marks an important milestone on your scholarly journey, and I'm really grateful to be here with you to celebrate with your families, your friends, your colleagues, and especially your mentors, and of course you. This morning, as if I'm teaching a lecture in synaptic transmission, I'm going to be really explicit. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to ask you to reflect on my journey and your journey, and to notice that my journey has a foundation of love. And I'm not talking about sentimental love, but a love grounded in what Father Howard Gray, a beloved Georgetown Jesuit, called attention, reverence, and devotion. If there was an exam, and I assure you there is not going to be an exam, I might ask you to write about where that love was shown in my journey and to reflect on your own journey, naming where love has popped up. Love is not something we usually talk about in my laboratory that focuses on molecular mechanisms of neurodegeneration. So this is a new topic, I think, for many. But it is with profound gratitude and humility that I address you today. As you heard, I am a professor and the chair of neuroscience at Georgetown. I also have a joint appointment in the Department of Biology and the College of Arts and Sciences. And together, these two appointments really enrich my journey at Georgetown. I spend most of my time on the Med Center campus, and as you heard, lead a research laboratory focused on neuroinflammation, and I mentor graduate students and undergrads in their research. And I teach those same students in the classroom, directing the different programs. But I also spend quite a bit of time partnering with mission and ministry and my Jesuit colleagues on various university programs and retreats. So it's a really full life, and it's a really wonderful life. But you might be wondering, how did I get to be chair of neuroscience at Georgetown? I started out by earning a Bachelor's of Science degree in biochemistry. Then I did a PhD in pharmacology, and my thesis was focused on the activity of poly-A polymerase and RNA stability in liver cancer. I followed that up with a postdoctoral fellowship focused on transcription factors that regulate adenovirus E1A. Notice, no brain. You haven't heard the brain at all. And so you might ask, how is it possible, after all of that, that I end up here? You're not alone. My colleagues probably ask the same thing, and I often ask myself that question. But this is the pure joy of an academic journey, of any journey. It's really not a straight line. There's really not even a road. It's a journey full of surprises. Not all of those surprises will be fun, and sometimes the journey defies logic, like a chair who doesn't have a degree in the discipline of the department that they lead. But undoubtedly, the journey will include inflection points, either forks in the road or hairpin turns. And so I'm going to tell you about a few of those. I'm old, so I cannot tell you about all of those in the time allowed. So one came when I was choosing my PhD discipline. Where would I do my degree? I was all set to join a program that was purely biochemistry, focused on the fundamentals of biochemistry, which seemed to align really well with my bachelor's degree. I was reminded by a very good friend, who later became my husband, that what I really loved was to answer questions about human health. And I had a lot of questions about disorders like cancer and how they developed. And so I quickly applied to a program at a medical center, and there I was able to concentrate on the pathogenesis of human diseases, focus on pharmacology because they didn't have a degree in neuroscience, but again, I wasn't even interested in the brain, and the discipline, again, of cancer biology. So for you, perhaps, this is a reminder to pay attention to what really inspires you, and to go for it, and maybe to listen to the wise counsel of those that love you. At the end of my postdoctoral fellowship, there I was studying those transcription factors and viral promoters. I was also reading in magazines, which you probably have not seen, but in like Newsweek and Time, about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And I was thinking about my next steps when serendipity stepped in. And this is not a joke. I went to my godparents' 50th wedding anniversary party. It is not on my CV. There, I reconnected with my godparents' daughter, whose husband knew a guy who was hiring faculty who wanted to understand molecular mechanisms in the brain. And before you knew it, in 1990, newly married, I moved with my husband, Rick, to Western New York. We literally bought a farm. And I started my first academic position at the University of Rochester Medical Center in the Department of Neurology. I finally began working on the brain and neurodegenerative diseases. And all of it, the research, the marriage, the children that followed, and the farm, were a steep learning curve. It was challenging, but it was loads of fun. It was 8 years later that my husband, who had been diagnosed with brain cancer, passed away. Living through that grief, raising 2 young children, and trying to keep research going was not a journey I thought I would ever be on. And as I said, not all of life's surprises are going to be fun ones. But I was on that journey. And what I experienced was fundamental to who I am. A reminder of what it means to deeply love, and a reminder that we all need a community. I needed help. I couldn't do this alone. And my family was blessed to have a loving and caring community of family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers that helped us to move forward. This is a reminder to you that you're never really alone. Many years later, in 2007, I joined the neuroscience faculty here at Georgetown University. I had no real intention of coming to Georgetown. Actually, I was trying to get a competitive package to stay at Rochester. Sorry. But when I visited Georgetown, I met the students and faculty, I experienced the collaborative environment, I saw how different departments collaborated together, which was really unusual, to solve big scientific questions, and I met so many women scientists. I immediately knew I was in trouble. There was something more here, and how was I going to tell my 9th grade son and my 5th grade daughter that it's a great time to leave all your friends and to move to DC? But we came for a second visit, and we were all hooked on Georgetown. And by the beginning of that next academic year, we had moved from this small village in Western New York to the capital of the United States. It was with a mix of joy and terror to be starting something so new. But we were in it together, and we've all flourished. A reminder to be courageous, because sometimes you'll just need to leap into the more. So here I am before you, a biochemist, a pharmacologist, a cell biologist, and now a neuroscientist, or at least in my research, if not my formal degree. So maybe you can see that I enjoy being in places that are integrative, interdisciplinary, and interconnected. I like that approach to answering scientific questions. In my experience, I think it's important to have this diversity of thought and approaches to deepen our collective search for whatever truth we are investigating. And for me, what is more interconnected than the brain? It has approximately 100 billion neurons, another 100 billion glial cells. These are cells that are just not neurons, and trillions of synapses, those connections between cells, and they're not static. They change in response to development, activity, physical damage, changes in the microenvironment, disease, and also aging. And so I'm really excited and interested in answering and asking these questions about how brain cells communicate with each other. It's not just interesting, it's essential to understand if we are to develop new therapies for patients suffering from these neurologic disorders. And that's our goal, to help patients. Each observation we make in the laboratory leads to another deeper question. We never run out of questions to ask because inquiry always goes deeper. And I'm privileged to ask these questions here at Georgetown, surrounded by brilliant students and brilliant colleagues. So now you know how I got to Georgetown. Why do I stay at Georgetown? I ask you to reflect on that too as you move throughout your careers. What keeps you in a place? What's important? What is fundamental to who you are? To continue to ask yourself, what do you stand for? I think of this in a different way. I might say, how will you use your talents and your interests to love the world? I stay at Georgetown because, in the words of President Emeritus Jack DeGioia, quote, Georgetown is a place where we continuously, rigorously, and collectively pursue truth. We commit to the formation of our students, to the inquiry of our faculty, and to the common good of our communities, end quote. So you see, Georgetown is helping me to grow into my most authentic self, to always be becoming. My life continues to unfold. I am invited to become a better researcher, a better teacher, a better scholar, a better colleague, and of course, a better mentor. Not for the awards and recognition, though they're kind of nice, but for the scientific discoveries, for the development and formation of our students, and for the greater community. Georgetown encourages me to pay attention to the needs of the individual, pay attention to the needs of the community, to notice what fills my heart with joy and what breaks my heart with sadness. Together, these things encourage me to a particular way to love the world. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not talking about falling in love. You know, there's some neuroscience PhDs here. They can tell me what neurotransmitters are released. How much dopamine do I need? Is epinephrine important? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the love that is rooted in commitment, in recognition that I am and we are all part of something much bigger than ourselves, that I have and you have the responsibility to our discipline, our scholarship, our Georgetown community, and yes, even our world. I stay here in this place at Georgetown because it takes the intellectual and the spiritual life seriously. The head and the heart both matter. I have read a lot of Harvard Business Review articles on leadership, and I've been to many leadership symposia, and they are all very helpful. But what clarified how I want to be a leader at Georgetown emerged from the many opportunities offered me, which deepened my experience of the Jesuit and Catholic tradition of higher education. At Georgetown, I was also invited to explore more deeply my personal relationship with God through a particular retreat called the Spiritual Exercises, developed by Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, and the Jesuits in turn founded Georgetown. It was during those exercises that I came to know more deeply who I am and whose I am, and in turn, what is my place in this world? And hopefully that is becoming a person in service to others. I can frankly do my research at another university or institute, and I can teach in a different classroom at a different college, but I choose to stay here because of the three elements that President DeGioia wrote about: student formation, inquiry, and the common good. I stay because of the way these elements unfold at Georgetown. The Jesuit values and the spirit of Georgetown animate our work here at this university. Here I am supported to do both the exterior and the interior work that deepens my scholarship, my academic life, and my contributions to the community. The exterior work is something we are all familiar with. It's kind of natural to academics. We do the research, we publish, we give seminars, we teach, we mentor, and we pursue the truth and deep understanding of our disciplines. In our case, the aspects of the brain and neural inflammation. The interior work is understanding who I am in this world. What do I stand for? Who am I becoming? What kind of neuroscientist I want to be? This is the deeper work. And this is also work supported here at this place. Georgetown values mission, dialogue, diversity, humanity, and self-knowledge. This interior work promotes a certain way of proceeding. We proceed in a way that is fundamentally oriented towards the care of the whole person and the common good. We take seriously cura personalis, the care of the whole person, and cura apostolica, the care of the university or the institution. We're not perfect. We continuously orient ourselves toward the magis and toward the other, because we strive to be the best university in the world. At the same time, and more importantly, we are striving to be the best university for the world. In the words of Father Peter Hans Klavenbach, the former Superior General of the Society of Jesus, quote, "The real measure of our Jesuit university lies in who our students become," end quote. But I would include all of us in this quote, not only our students. In my experience, ongoing formation isn't just for our students, it's for me too. With each experience, interaction, and opportunity to reflect and contemplate, I too am hopefully becoming a person more rooted in our Jesuit values and more oriented towards the greater good. So together, that exterior and interior work at Georgetown is leading me to a life immersed in the pursuit of understanding, and Georgetown provides the context for that pursuit. This is not limited to my research on the brain, but extends to how I do that research. Striving for more in academic excellence, more in rigor and ethical standards, to how I encounter my students and staff and faculty, to striving to care for the whole person, and being available to say yes to opportunities that help this community. All of this together enriches my life. I recognize that I'm blessed with a wonderful life, and I really wish the same for all of you new PhDs. May your life unfold in the most unexpected ways, and I hope and trust that on your journey, you will grow stronger with each twist and turn. You see, you and I are part of this legacy. Georgetown is my home, and it's your home. And when we walk through those gates into the world, we take part of this place with us. We're called to be stewards of our disciplines, and this is a sacred responsibility. You may have noticed there's a universal sign of advanced degree, and it's a little bit like this, because these hoods are a little uncomfortable. And no matter how many buttons or safety pins we have inside our robes, hoods choke a little. And I think that's okay. We should be reminded that there will be times when we are uncomfortable, when we have to stand up for our disciplines, for each other, for the marginalized, when we must demand academic freedom, when we must ask difficult questions, we must speak the truth, but we have our Georgetown Foundation and community to guide and support us. We are never alone. So this morning, I will leave you with this. Will you love your discipline enough to be a steward of that discipline and to be not only a seeker of the truth, but one who seeks with an orientation toward the care of the other, towards the needs of the world? I hope you say yes, because we need you. And it may sound daunting, but it is merely an invitation to get up every day and to do the next loving thing. And in my experience, if you say yes, your life will be filled with grace and joy. So again, congratulations on your achievements, and thank you for the opportunity to share my journey with you here at Georgetown. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor McGuire-Zeiss. Before we present the candidates for hooding, we are pleased to honor 4 of our 2024 graduates with the Harold N. Glassman Dissertation Award, recognizing the distinguished scholarship that earned each of them the PhD. While recognizing the quality of these dissertations, the Glassman Awards are also prospective, anticipating the contributions that these young scholars will make to their communities of learning in the future. The Graduate School typically awards 3 Glassmans annually, 1 in the humanities, 1 in the social sciences, and 1 in the sciences. Dr. Andrew Sobonet, Interim Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, will read the citation for the recipient in the humanities, Dr. Martina Thorne, who is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Veronica Saez-Reis, Professor Emerita in the Department of Spanish and Portuguese in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. David Edelstein, Vice Provost for Education, will read the citation for the recipient in the social sciences, Dr. Victoria Brodus. Unfortunately, Dr. Brodus could not be with us here today. Professor Catherine Benton-Cohen of the Department of History in the College of Arts and Sciences will accept the award on her behalf. 2 scholars will share the award in the sciences. The citation for Dr. David Saxton and Dr. Von Shirey will be read by Dr. Anna T. Riegel, Vice President for Biomedical Education and Research, and Cecilia Rudman, Fisher Professor of Oncology and Pharmacology at the Lombardi Comprehensive Cancer Center. Dr. Saxton is joined by his co-mentor, Dr. Joshua Corbin, Interim Director of the Center for Neuroscience Research at Children's National Hospital, and Professor of Pediatrics in the School of Medicine at the Georgetown University Medical Center. And Dr. Shirey is joined by his mentor, Dr. Leslie Reese, Associate Professor in the Department of Biology in the College of Arts and Sciences.
Dr. Thorne is the recipient of the 2025 Harold N. Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Humanities for her dissertation, The First Ornithologist in the New World, Santiago de Cardenas, The Writing of Science and the Emergence of Decolonial Thought, which she defended with distinction in June 2023. She was mentored by Professor Emerita Veronica Saez-Reis of the Department of Spanish and Portuguese in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Thorne's dissertation explores the writings of Santiago de Cardenas, a self-made naturalist and man of color living in 18th century Peru. Through diligent archival research, Dr. Thorne discovered evidence that Santiago not only produced the first meticulously detailed illustrations of the Andean condor, but also a flying machine that predates the early construction of the empirical method. Her mentor, Professor Salis Rees, describes Dr. Thorne as a true intellectual with a thirst for knowledge, and states that her dissertation will further our understanding of the colonial power structure's mechanisms to exclude indigenous and mixed-blood peoples from intellectual discourses. Nicolás Way Gomez, professor of history at the California Institute of Technology, an external reader on her committee, describes the dissertation as a splendid work of scholarship, substantive and consequential, and it promises a brilliant book that will be of interest to early modernists beyond the field of colonial Latin American literature. Professor Tanya Gentic of the Spanish and Portuguese Department states that Dr. Thorne's dissertation is an exemplary testament to the power of archival and historiographical research to produce new knowledge that can radically alter how scholars understand their fields. Professor Emerita Gwen Kirkpatrick of the Spanish and Portuguese Department, and second reader on her committee, adds that her dissertation has the potential to make an important shift in colonial studies and in thinking about mestizaje, natural science, and the colonial subject in Latin America. Dr. Thorne has 3 peer-reviewed publications and 2 manuscripts in preparation. In 2024, she was a fellow of the Linnaean Society in London. In fall 2025, she will be an assistant teaching professor in the Spanish and Portuguese department at Georgetown.
Dr. Brodus is the recipient of the 2025 Harold N. Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Social Sciences for her dissertation, Visungo, the Afro-Descended Culture of Miners and Maroons in Brazil's Diamond District 1850s to 2020s, which she defended in June 2023. She was mentored by Professor Brian McCann of the Department of History in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Brodus's dissertation uses Visungo, the work songs and ritual burial songs of formerly enslaved West African miners and Maroons and their descendants, to weave a narrative on the history and legacies of slavery in the present-day diamond mining community and culture of the Minas Gerais region of Brazil. Professor Catherine Benton-Cohen of the History Department describes the dissertation as impressive and an, quote, interdisciplinary work in musicology, sociology, religious studies, anthropology, linguistics, and medical studies, end quote, while Professor Allison Games of the History Department states it is, quote, a truly exemplary piece of scholarship. Her mentor, Professor McCann, notes that Dr. Brodus, quote, essentially did the work of 2 dissertations. One, a close interdisciplinary analysis of Visungo, the other, a sweeping overview of the history of ethnomusicology and cultural anthropology in Brazil, and the place of Visungo within that intellectual history. Professor Chandra Manning asserts that the dissertation is distinguished by its methodological innovation, its awe-inspiring evidence base consisting not just of archival sources, but an array of evidence, including music, landscape, and communal tradition. Professor John Titino of the Walsh School of Foreign Service and the History Department describes the dissertation as a unique analytical triumph, and that its importance cannot be overstated. Dr. Brodus was awarded a DC Humanities grant to produce and direct a documentary film on the history of the Park Regent apartment building and its longtime community in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood of Washington, D.C. Her publication record includes several peer-reviewed articles and chapters in edited volumes, Since her graduation in August 2023, she has been serving as a visiting professor of history at Oberlin College. The Graduate School is very proud to award Dr. Brodus the Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Social Sciences.
Good morning. Dr. David Saxon is the joint recipient with Dr. Vaughan Shirey of the 2025 Harold N. Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Sciences. Dr. Saxon defended his dissertation defining the functional identity of the late maturing paralaminar amygdala in January 2024. He was co-mentored by Professor Stefano Vicini, Professor of Pharmacology and Physiology at the Georgetown University Medical Center, and Professor Joshua Corbin, Interim Director of the Center for Neuroscience Research at Children's National Hospital and Professor of Pediatrics in the School of Medicine at Georgetown University Medical Center. Dr. Saxon's dissertation focused on elucidating the development and function of a very specific set of neurons in the paralaminar nucleus of the amygdala, the region of the brain that handles processing social and emotional information. Using a mouse model, Dr. Saxon successfully showed that this region of the brain is conserved across species and that this population of neurons matured during adolescence, resulting in landmark studies that his co-mentors, Professor Corbin and Vicini, state resulted in 2 outstanding publications. The first, a second author paper in Neuron, which is the highest ranked journal in neuroscience, and the second as a first author paper in eNeuro, a highly cited and impactful neuroscience journal. Sean Sorrells, Assistant Professor of Neuroscience at the University of Pittsburgh, and an external member of Dr. Saxon's dissertation committee, asserts that the dissertation research was extremely novel and is the first to map out cell types in an almost entirely understudied brain region. His careful and diligent work will have a substantial impact in the field of neural development. Dr. Saxon joined Georgetown University in 2018 as a joint MD, PhD in neuroscience, and is the recipient of an NIH Ruth L. Kirstein Individual Predoctoral NRSA F30 MD Award that's made to MD, PhD students. He's a member of the Sigma Psi National Honor Society since 2015, and associate of the Neuroscience Scholars Program at the Society for Neuroscience from 2022 to 2024. Dr. Saxon has served as the editor-in-chief of the Georgetown Medical Review since 2019. He's currently completing his medical training and expected to graduate in May 2026. The Graduate School is very proud to award Dr. Saxon the Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Sciences. Dr. Vaughan Shirey is the joint recipient with Dr. David Saxon of the 2025 Harold N. Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Sciences. Dr. Shirey defended his dissertation detecting signals of recent climate change in North American cold-adapted butterfly communities with distinction in May 2023. He was mentored by Professor Leslie Rees of the Department of Biology in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Shirey's dissertation is a detailed analysis of how butterfly communities in Canada and Alaska have changed since the 1970s. Due to the scarcity of data in the region, he developed a novel modeling framework that allowed him to use opportunistically collected data to model species change over time, a goal that has been elusive but is critical because this is the only data available for most species in most parts of the world. His results successfully show a decline of cold-adapted butterflies and the intrusion of southern butterfly species into subpolar habitats. His mentor, Professor Rees, underscores the significance of the work, stating that these shifts in ecology not only show the degradation of polar ecosystems, but the homogenization of ecological communities in an increasingly human-dominated world. Dr. Shirey also catalogued and photographed more than 4,000 museum specimens of the Arctic butterfly species Panaceus minthes. With the use of machine learning, he subsequently examined the species' morphological changes across latitude, altitude, and time methods he later applied to work on other species, such as insects, birds, and salt marsh grasses. This work resulted in a first author article in Methods in Ecology and Evolution, a premier statistical journal in the field. Dr. Shirey has an impressive publication record of 16 articles that focus on his dissertation. He's a recipient of an NSF Graduate Research Fellowship. Dr. Shirey also was awarded a prestigious Smith Fellowship to support his postdoctoral work. He currently holds a tenure-track position as an assistant curator of Lepidoptera at the Maguire Center for Lepidoptera and Biodiversity, a leading institution in the country that focuses on insect biodiversity and conservation at the Florida Museum of Natural History at the University of Florida. The Graduate School is very proud to award Dr. Shirey the Glassman Distinguished Dissertation Award in the Sciences.
We will now present the 2025 doctoral candidates in alphabetical order by program and individual. We'll begin with the Doctor of Liberal Studies candidates, followed by the Doctor of Philosophy candidates. Dr. Charles McNeilis, Professor of Classics and Director of the Doctor of Liberal Studies program, will read the names of the Doctor of Liberal Studies candidates. Dr. Jennifer Woolard, Professor of Psychology and Vice Dean in the College of Arts and Sciences, will read the names of the Doctor of Philosophy candidates in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Jessica Jones, Professor of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology and Cellular Biology, and Chair of the GUMC Faculty Senate Caucus, will read the names of the Doctor of Philosophy candidates in the Biomedical Sciences. Candidates, please move forward towards the podium when the usher releases your row. When you approach the stage, please give the staff member your card. As your name is read, please proceed to center stage so that you may be hooded by your mentor and congratulated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Liberal Studies please approach the stage?
Russell Feltz. Jean-Claude Nascimento. Julia Schiller. Oh. Okay. Should I keep reading? Okay. Sarah Hamrock. That's it.
Amber Kaliti. Emma Rowland. Zhu Shi. Arthur McDeed. Faisal Almansawar. Manish Mogue. Jacob Flynn. David Saxon. Amira Mungali. Lillian Chang. Plamen Nikolov. Youssef Al-Johani. Jordi Sepulveda. Siddharth Jain. Michelle Fala. Neke Nasor. Aaron Schiedemann.
Umar Sharif. Arifa Saida Hassan. Dennis DiMaggio. Ellen Jacobs. Ursula Machi. Henry Stevens. Margaret Wang. Davina Adderley. Jeffrey Sai Shang Kam Foreman. Aaron Nelson. Nadia Sarfraz. Samuel White. Andreas Willems. Shabnam Bezad. Michael Kranzlein. Shuo Liu. Keiyu Chen. Angelica Sanchez Diaz. Devika Chiramar. Angelo Amaro Diaz Reyes. Camila Gomez. Adrian Judson. Arturo Romero Yanez. Yi Yao. Shoshana Lane. Ekaterina Soloveva. Benjamin Burnley. Ji Min Kim. Patrick McSweeney. Howard Tai. Rebecca Andrews. Andrew Davenport. Luke Frederick. Rama Macaron. Jason Hallob. Ijun Chog. Elisha Henry. Kenneth Homan. Margaret Dervan Hughes. Erica Lally. Anna Smelova. Cooper Wingert. Yunjung Yuni Ku. Other way, Christina. The other way. Other way. Yeah. Nagar Siari. Dominic Cooper. Christopher Kochevar. Willie Beeson. Next card. Yijing Liu. Shishen Wang. Matthew Letau. Ivan Andres Espinoza Orozco. Other way. There we go. Montserrat Garcia Rodenas. Fernanda Martinez Varela. Do you have the list? Okay, we'll get it. There we go. Thank you. Martina Thorne. Jorge Ramos de Jesus. Mohammed Lamalam. Thank you. James Shelton Nolly.
Please join me in congratulating all the candidates. So candidates, on behalf of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences and Georgetown University, I congratulate you on the completion of your degrees and welcome you to the sodality of scholars committed to the unconstrained and honest quest for the truth. On behalf of the distinguished faculty assembled here in the hall and those who couldn't make it today, I offer you our most heartfelt best wishes for the future. I note, too, that no one completes advanced work without the help of others. So please take this moment to thank your family and friends who have made this day possible. Well, the weather appears to be okay, and I invite everyone in the hall to join us at a reception in the Dahlgren Quadrangle just directly below this building, immediately following this. Please stand and remain in your place for the recessional. The stage party will exit first, followed by the faculty, and then the 2025 doctoral candidates.